What is going on, guys? In today's video I will rank every single build in Destiny 2 from worst to best. Overall I've tested 31 different builds, each one with its own unique aspect and playstyle. If you are looking for the best build guides, then check out my recent videos, and without any further ado, let's get right into it. So let's start with the last D tier, and the builds that deserve to be in here is the Hold Void Warlock, Hoarfrost Stasis Titan, Fallen Sunstar Arc Warlock, Omnioculus Void Hunter, and the Shards of the Galanor Solar Hunter. So let's take a look at them. The Contraverse Hold Void Warlock build is centered around using your Vortex Grenade, like no other class can. By combining this grenade with the Chaos Accelerant aspect and the exotic gauntlets the Contraverse hold, you will wield immensely powerful grenades that pull enemies inwards towards its point of impact and deal significant single target damage. Hits from your overcharged Vortex Grenade return a portion of your grenade energy, which allows you to maintain a near constant supply of grenades. Then next we have the Hoarfrost Stasis Titan. This build has been a decent option for quite a while, especially in the previous seasons. You have access to amazing aspects that will turn you into a behemoth. One exotic that has been at the forefront of the stasis is the Hoarfrost exotic chest piece. Having your barricade turn into a wall of ice that freezes targets is incredibly useful, and then the rest of your setup will be built around the barricade, becoming a wall of the stasis crystals that slow nearby targets and much more. Next we have the Fallen Sunstar Arc Warlock. This build harnesses the raw electrical power of the Arc subclass, supercharging your abilities and movement speed to make you an unstoppable force. The centerpiece of this build is the exotic helmet, the Fallen Sunstar, which significantly boosts the arc ability regeneration and grants additional energy to your allies through the collection of the ionic traces. With this helmet, the ionic traces, they will move towards you faster and grant you additional ability energy. Next we have the Omnioculus Void Hunter. This build provides an on-demand invisibility for you and everyone in your fire team, which allows you to control the battlefield and mitigate any damage. You further support your fire team by weakening the enemies by using the Vortex Grenade, Snare Bomb, and the Shadow Shot. Omnioculus is the cornerstone of this hunter build, by providing you with extra Snare Bomb and granting both ability regeneration and significant damage resistance. These benefits make it the perfect choice for crafting an ultimate survivability build that keeps you and your fire team alive and in control. And then for the last D tier build we have the Shards of the Galanor, the Solar Hunter. This build is all about relentless ability regeneration and maximizing your super uptime to clear the battlefield with ease. Centered around the exotic gauntlets, the Shards of the Galanor, this build will allow you to regenerate up to 50% of your super energy with each hit or final blow from your blade barrage. The result will be more supers, more damage, and more orbs of power. It's a simple yet devastating gameplay loop, so generate super energy through the knife trick, unleash your blade barrage, and then rinse and repeat. So now let's go over to the C tier, and the builds that we have here are the Necrotic Grip Strand Warlock, Severance Enclosure Solar Titan, Assassin's Cowl Arc Hunter, Synthocep Solar Titan, and the Phoenix Protocol Solar Warlock. First up we have the Necrotic Grip Strand Warlock. This setup will masterfully combine the potent crowd control of the Suspend with devastating damage over time effects from the Unravel and the Necrotic Grip. When you're faced with heavy encounters, this build will showcase the true potential of the Strand subclass by letting you dominate the battlefield with a relentless efficiency. This build also excels at generating tangles by defeating enemies affected with the Unravel. These tangles will synergize with your aspect, so now you can suspend your enemies a lot more effectively. Next we have Severance Enclosure Solar Titan. This build has been given a multitude of exotics that are non-elemental dependent and extremely strong, but none compared to the Severance Enclosure. This setup is based around the exotic chest piece and takes the advantage of high explosives and healing on the solar. Using your throwing hammer you can consistently keep up these large explosions. Also, you can utilize the Sunspot Leader to scorch the targets while keeping up your restoration effects as well. Finally, by using the Roaring Flames, they will boost your solar damage, ensuring that you can hammer one-shot most of the red bar enemies. Next up we have the Assassin's Cowl Arc Hunter. So Assassin's Cowl on the Arc Hunter is an incredibly powerful combination, because it provides massive melee damage output, heal, sustain and invisibility. This allows for melee to be used in high-end content, without worry of dying often. Our exotic allows for powered melee final blows, to grant invisibility and restore a portion of health and shields. Finishers and final blows against more powerful targets will increase the duration of the invisibility and the amount of health and shields restored. This will create a great way to stay in close and sustain health, while doing huge amount of melee damage. Then for one of the last ones we have the Synthocepic Solar Titan. This setup is also known as the Bonk build, which has great healing, damage and flexibility. Many players swear by the strand being the only option, yet they forget which build was the day one choice until it came around. Also, this might not have crazy incognitions like other solar builds, but you can keep using your throwing hammer and never die. Just like any melee setup, the key to this build is exotic armor mods. This will give you a massive damage boost to your melee and super while also surrounded. And then finally we have the Phoenix Protocol Solar Warlock. This build harnesses the powers of the exotic chest armor, the Phoenix Protocol, which dramatically accelerates your super regeneration through kills and assists, while you are within your Veil of Radiance. The primary objective of this build is to provide exceptional team support. By casting your super ability frequently, you can continuously support your team, and even have the potential to lay down a second super before the first one expires. So now we have the B tier, and the builds that deserve to be in here is the Orpheus Ring Void Hunter, the Falling Star Arc Titan, the Doomfang Pauldron Void Titan, the Sunbracers Solar Warlock, the Swarmer's Prismatic Warlock, Osmiomancy Gloves Stasis Warlock, the Renewal Grasp Stasis Hunter, the Synthocep Strand Titan, the Foetracer Strand Hunter and the Mask of the Fealty Stasis Hunter. First up we have the Orpheus Ring Void Hunter. This build will allow you to generate your super very quickly, ensuring constant battlefield control and breathing room for your team. Your super Shadow Shot will apply a suppression and weaken for 30% global debuff to the enemies for you and your teammates. The core of this build will revolve around the exotic boost Orpheus Ring. This exotic provides super energy for each target tethered by the Shadow Shot, which allows you to recharge up to half of your maximum super energy. Next we have the Falling Star Arc Titan. This build turns your Titan's already strong super into an absolute missile of damage in the endgame content. The best part about this setup is that you don't need an exotic weapon to enhance anything. If you do, it's simply the sprinkles on the top. The item, the Curious of the Falling Star, has the spotlight for this setup, as it greatly increases your Thunder Crash impact and gives you an overshield and about 100% additional damage increase. Next we have the Doomfang Pauldron Void Titan. The backbone of this build is the exotic chest piece, the Doomfang Pauldron. Defeating targets with this void damage has a chance to grant bonus damage to void weapons. In addition, defeating targets with a void melee grants an additional super energy. Now, the biggest part that helps your void roaming support is defeating targets with melee attacks. So it recharges your shield throw, which in return extends your super on each hit. Next up we have the Sunbracers Solar Warlock build. The exotic gloves, the Sunbracers, are an incredibly effective tool for clearing droves of enemies. With the snap of your fingers, you're able to set the world on fire, offering both strong area denial with your solar grenades and super useful survivability with Song of Flame. After dominating the Warlock meta last year, the Sunbracers received a substantial nerf at the beginning of the final shape. However, the Sunbracer Solar build remains a powerful choice for Warlocks, thanks to its strong ability uptime and exceptional survivability, keeping it relevant till this day in the endgame content. Next we have the Swarmer's Prismatic Warlock. This build focuses on generating treadlings by utilizing the power of your Swarmer's exotic boots. Prismatic is the chosen subclass for this build, due to the constant self-healing from the Devourer and grenade energy gained through the Facet of Balance. The Swarmer's Prismatic Warlock build excels at that clearing through automated treadling minions and maintains an excellent uptime on the Devourer, which is one of the best self-healing buffs in the game. Next we have Osmiomancy Prismatic Warlock. This build utilizes the exotic class item the Solipsium, with the perfect combination of the Spirit of the Osmiomancy and Spirit of Verity. This combo excels at generating vortex grenade energy and improving grenade damage. When paired with the aspect Feed the Void and on any ability kill or multi-kills with the Buried Bloodline, this will proc. The result is rapid regen of your Vortex grenades that have increased damage thanks to the Spirit of Verity. This constant damage and add clear provided by the synergy is super OP in any activity. Next up we have the Osmiomancy gloves, the Stasis Warlock. At the heart of this build is our exotic, the Osmiomancy gloves, which grants you an additional cold snap grenade and reduces its cooldown on direct impact, allowing for near constant grenade use. With the Bleak Watcher aspect, your grenades can also be transformed into a powerful stasis turrets that slow and freeze your enemies. To support the playstyle, this build includes many ways to regenerate your grenade energy through weapon and armor mods. Next we have Renewal Grasp Stasis Hunter. This setup focuses on the exotic Renewal Grasp, which give you and your teammates easy access to the Frost Armor buff. This provides your team improved survivability, where similar options are few and far between. The Renewal Grasp will work by granting you or your teammates a stack of Frost Armor every second while standing in the area of the Dux-filled grenade. Enemies that are within the area have their outgoing damage reduced by 50%. Then for the last ones we have the Synthocep Strand Titan. Just like any other melee build with the Titan, the key to his success is the exotic arms armor, the Synthoceps. His armor perk, the Biotic Enhancements, will give you a massive damage boost to your melee and super while surrounded. On top of this, your weapon handling and reload speed are increased as well. This is also a great option for those looking to use the glaive, since they add 100% increase to their melee damage. Next we have the Foetracer Strand Hunter. This setup focuses on the Foetracer, which gives you the effect of 4-strand weapon surge, with practically infinite uptime. This will free up a lot of build crafting resources to be spent towards your abilities and survivability. More specifically, the Whirling Maelstrom aspect is your best friend, because he will form the tangles you destroy or throw. They will automatically track enemies and deal a massive amount of damage over time, which pretty much automates most of your fighting. And now finally we have the Mask of the Fealty Stasis Hunter. This build with the Mask of the Fealty is the latest Hunter exotic, introduced in the Remnant episode, and it brings a range of powerful advantages when paired with the Withering Blades. Initially, I was hesitant to switch to this exotic, as the Renewal Grasp has been a strong go-to for stasis builds. However, the Mask of the Fealty quickly provided itself to be an excellent option for both the standard stasis and prismatic subclass builds. The added elemental buffs like the Radiance and many more make the Mask of the Fealty particularly effective in prismatic setups. So now let's take a look at the A tier. And the builds that we will place in here is the Precious Scars Strand Titan, the Pyrogale Gauntlet Solar Titan, the Navigator Strand Titan, the Gyrfalcons Hauberg Void Hunter, the Lucky Pan Solar Hunter, and the Gateway Artist Prismatic Warlock. First off we have the Precious Scars Strand Titan. The exotic, the Precious Scars, received a major buff in the latest season, giving the player a restoration effect when using a weapon, which matches their subclass type. This provides you with a constant healing. The buff turned a D tier exotic into an A or even an S tier choice. By using Strand's already strong abilities like the Velvet Mail and the Banner of the War will mean that you are an absolute tank in any endgame content. In addition to the healing you get from the final blows, you also get an overshield when being revived or reviving a teammate. This is without a doubt the best support exotic for the Titan to this date. Next we have the Pyrogale Gauntlets of the Solar Titan. This has quickly become one of the top choices for the meta builds in the game. This subclass advantages of the healing with the restoration and weapon buffs with the radiance, on top of the improved super damage, is huge for any activity. This can be used in any piece of content and has become a great option for boss damage in raids. The Pyrogale Gauntlets will turn your Burning Maul super into a one-shot attack versus a roaming one. This will also add 3 Fire Cyclones that continue to damage the enemies. Next we have the Navigator Strand Titan. This build is known as the nuker that became a master of survivability and excels in close quarters, focus target, or even swarm damage. You can launch yourself at enemies with the Frenzied Blade, activate the Banner of the War for a ramping melee damage bonus, zip around with the grapple, or just transform yourself into a high resilient, high damage super and suspend your enemies with its heavy attack. You can also use the Navigator to set yourself up for big damage against single targets, as well as other items for a very easy and free damage bonus. Next up we have the Gyrfalcons Void Hunter. This build combines everything great about the Void Hunter, so the Volatile, Weaken, Invisibility and Devour. It's amazing at clearing adds and debuffing enemies for your team. Gyrfalcons Hauberg provides volatile rounds to your Void weapons every time you emerge from the invisibility. With each Void weapon hit, enemies become volatile and explode after taking additional damage. This powerful combination allows you to trigger a chain explosion that can wipe out groups of enemies effortlessly. Next we have the Lucky Pants Solar Hunter build. So the exotic The Lucky Pants allows you to massively increase your hand cannon's damage. So this exotic The Lucky Pants will allow you to massively increase your hand cannon's damage, to the point where they become competitive with the heavy ammo weapons. They're rather complicated in how they do this, but in short, the Gunslinger subclass is a complementary pairing, thanks to its very high uptime on the Radiant, weapon feel enhancements and restoration versus a healing grenade. This build is highly versatile and reliable, also useful in a wide variety of activities, from the Grandmaster Nightfalls to the raids to dungeons and much more. And then for the last one we have the Gateway Artist Prismatic Warlock. This build is centered around the exotic arms Gateway Artist, which consumes your Storm Grenade to summon an Arc Soul that fires at targets in front of you. When combined with the Prismatic subclass and the Bleak Watcher aspect, this setup also deploys a stasis turret alongside your Arc Soul. Your second aspect, the Helion, will summon a Solar Mortar that lobs projectiles at scorching targets. With 3 summons to shoot for you, this build provides an amazing ad clear and crowd control capability. And now finally we have come to the last and final S tier. And the builds that deserve the top tier spot is the Cenotaph Mask Solar Warlock, Celestial Nighthawk Prismatic Hunter, Speaker Sight Solar Warlock, and the Star Eater Prismatic Warlock. So first up we have the Cenotaph Solar Warlock. The Cenotaph mask is an exotic from the left field that has shaken the endgame meta for many warlocks. It's versatile among all the other subclass elements, and is an S tier support exotic for any endgame content. It's actually so good that it became a day 1 raid requirement, and had a recent nerf, but even with all of that, it still stands above many other support exotics. The Cenotaph Mask Solar will make you the best friend of any guardian that joins your squad, as you will be able to provide them with max heavy shots and much more. Next we have the Celestial Nighthawk Prismatic Hunter. This build dominates the leaderboards as the ultimate boss killer, thanks to the synergy between the Celestial Nighthawk and the Steel Hunt. It also excels at ad clear by using slow, freeze and severe to control enemies. This build is easy to learn and execute, making it the perfect setup for raids, dungeons and even a legendary lost sectors. Then for one of the last ones we have the Speaker Sight Solar Warlock. This build is perfect for players who want to take on the healer role, by offering exceptional support in dungeons, raids and Grandmaster Nightfalls. You will transform your healing grenade into an automated turret, with the exotic helmet, the Speaker Sight, which will provide you a cure and restoration to your team members. This build also takes the advantage of a new support frame auto rifle, the No Hesitation. This weapon, the No Hesitation, will heal your fire team and gain a 25% weapon damage boost thanks to the Circle of the Life. And now finally we have the Star Eater Prismatic Warlock. This build takes the advantage of the exotic class item the Solipsium, with the perk of the Spirit of the Star Eater and the Spirit of the Apotheosis. The Star Eater greatly increases the damage of the Needle Storm, as you can pick up Orbs of Power. But the Apotheosis lets you squeeze out even more damage by boosting your ability regen after your super is used. Also in the latest episode, this build uses the Aegir Scepter to synergize with the aspect perks like the Wind Chill, which grants a stack of frost armor with the rapid precision hits. You for sure will want to boost this perk to also drop the stasis shards, which will generate even more melee energy when collected, and that's about it. So if you enjoyed this video, click like, subscribe and comment. If you're interested in more content, then check out my channel and I will see you in the next one. So take it easy, peace.